Kanye West. Kanye. Oh boy. Oh, okay. Kanye said on TMZ that black people must have chosen to be slaves. The 400 years of slavery was a choice. And I think that's indicative of this toxic mentality that a lot of black men and women hold about a masculine attitude in general. Now, I want to deconstruct what Kanye had to say, but to do so, I'm going to have to criticize masculinity. I'm going to have to criticize it a lot. I'm going to use a lot of terms that might fucking hurt your fucking feelings, but I hope that you could be adult enough to deal with it, all right? First of all, disclaimer, I love masculinity. I consider masculinity a religion. It's the fundamental religion. Masculinity is the religion of self. A patriarchy is a reward structure for men who practice good masculinity. So I will never co-sign with someone who's saying, oh, let's smash the patriarchy. My whole premise has been to refine the patriarchy for a modern era. But to love something, to say that you love something, you have to know its nature and be truthful about it. Masculinity is a pathological fear of weakness and vulnerability. Masculinity is a religion of yourself. And from the years of 2015 through 2016, Kanye West lost himself. Kanye West suffered a lot of losses to his masculine pride. That was the foundation of what he obviously knows is to be an existential collapse. The opioids off of liposuction shit, that is just a smokescreen. That's bullshit. That's an easy answer. Kanye West gets paid to sell a certain type of masculine ethic, and when he came short of that, his whole worldview collapsed. So it makes absolute sense that Kanye gravitated towards the avatar of failing Western masculinity, the cartoon character, the classic man himself, Donald J. Trump, a pussy grabber, a bully, an alpha male, a true alpha male in all regards. I say this because not only is this why Kanye West got close to Donald Trump, is because that's why most white people voted for Donald Trump in the first place. They respect his alpha. Kanye West hated his own weakness, so he found an avatar. Candace Owens, Red Pill Black, I think she got Kanye's attention because she went in from college university and she lambasted young academics like, why you want to be a weakness for? Why are you so obsessed with being weak? Why won't you want to be a victor? Or why wouldn't you want to embrace a victor mentality instead of victim mentality? That's the message Kanye is gravitating to. Don't be weak, be strong, be alpha, be a male at all times. And I don't even think he gives a rat's ass about conservative politics. I've never heard his stance on gun rights. I've never heard him talk about the borders. He's not really a family values kind of preacher. He's a bourgeois capitalist, if anything, but when it's all said and done, Kanye West doesn't understand the fundamental principles of small government or anything like that. He's never spoken at any lengths about it. All he understands is that conservatism is masculine and, well, boring, but... And I wouldn't give a fuck. I really wouldn't give a fuck what Kanye has to say about slavery because he's a celebrity. Celebrities, shut the fuck up. But when I hear him say the slaves must have chosen to be weak, he's saying that men aren't allowed to be weak. And for me to reconcile with my manhood and my black skin, I have to give black slaves agency that they don't have. I have to deny the fact that they were not in control of their environment. I have to reconcile that I come from a line of weakened men, and that is too much for him to bear. That's why he's on this fucking yap tour talking that nonsense. It has nothing to do with him embracing conservatism. It's nothing to do with that. And as a matter of fact, Kanye's stupidity aside, I am seeing that overall mentality become the thesis of black social media. When a young African-American man hangs himself in front of a witness on an overhead in Atlanta, I'm seeing every last commentator on YouTube say that, oh, he did it, he didn't do it, the cops did it. That's another easy answer. Allow black men to be weak. Allow us the dignity of saying that we've had enough, and committing suicide is the only options that we feel our minds is capable of. Stop putting this hypermasculine burden on black men. This is the same hypermasculine burden you're putting on that young brother that you're putting in front on these Black Lives Matter victims who occasionally want to punch a cop holding a loaded gun, or who runs into a hail of bullets like Mike Brown did. Allow us to be weak. Allow us to be complete human beings. Stop putting the full burden of manhood on top of a man because you don't want to admit that we as African Americans are in a weakened state. Let us be complete fucking human beings. Kanye West is not going to allow himself the dignity of being a complete human being because he sells a pornographic view of what masculinity is. It's where he gets his money. So he has to give himself agency that he doesn't have. In the end, Kanye West is paranoid and afraid of his own weakness. Black men in America are paranoid and afraid of their own weakness. Black men are ashamed of the weakness of our ancestors. Why? We couldn't do nothing about it. If anything, a buck nigga would have probably had his hands and his foot chopped off, and his screams would have incentivized the other slaves to work harder. We need to get over our weaknessphobia because it's fucking up our politics and our thought process. But just to show that I do love masculinity, shout out to Donald Trump for alpha mailing Kim Jong-un into the peace treaty. Donald Trump could possibly ended the Korean War from the 1950s because he out-alpha mailed Kim Jong-un. Think about that. I told you I love masculinity, you know what I'm saying? Real masculinity is some good shit. But it doesn't have an exit. There's no exit strategy for masculinity yet, so I provide an exit strategy. You're either a man or a complete human being. You're not a faggot, a coon, a simp, or whatever. You're just a full fucking human being. Stop punishing yourself for being a full human being because you took a loss. And stop putting your bullshit weaknessphobia philosophies on our ancestors, all right? That's all I had to say. It's your boy Black Privilege signing out.